Yay! Happy Monday, y'all. Welcome to my studio or my creative suite. My podcast wall is on this side, little bookshelf back there, my writing computer behind me, and yeah, this is where I feel most creative. When I moved in here, I was single, and so originally I was setting it up for a guest bedroom, and yeah, I still have like an extra mattress. And then COVID happened. So I was like, let me turn this into a room that I would use. So 4 or 5 years later, it feels really good to just be in this space, knowing that I'm still using it for, purposes that fulfill me. This video is going to be the start of a slight change in direction of the videos that I've been posting every week. It's been incredible to do these weekly diaries, not only for myself, but just kind of as a safe place to check in with anyone who is out there just curious about the everyday life of an entrepreneur. I think when you do something for so long, there is this kind of propensity to get a little bit disconnected from reality. And this is also kind of like a humility check for me, just to remember that, like, I'm very normal, I'm very human, and I'm not above any problems or issues that come with the journey of entrepreneurship. So instead of this being a like, what did I do? What did I learn? What did I feel? Which probably those messages will be weaved in anyway. I want to kind of turn these videos into something where I address maybe a hot topic or something that maybe I can just share a deeper perspective on. On Instagram this week, I've been talking a lot about showing up on camera. I did a live with my friend Zaylee Barkley about just building camera confidence and doing more video storytelling with your community. And it all led me back to this question of, is entrepreneurship harder or easier? Like, if you are, let's say in 2024, wanting to be an entrepreneur, is that a good thing? Or should you have started 5-10 years ago? Like, who's at the advantage? The people who started 10 years ago or the people that are starting today? And here are my thoughts on that. Because with time, and like anything else, and like any other industry, it's very easy to believe that once something has been around for so long, the market is saturated and it's just, there's no space. But I actually think if you are wanting to start entrepreneurship or even just a side hustle in 2024, I absolutely believe you are at an advantage. And not an advantage like, in terms of like length, of course, someone who started 10 years ago has an upper hand. But the reason it's easier to start today than it was 10 years ago is because there's so much access to resources, better resources, and information and technology and software that makes operating a business like a couple clicks and funnels and books away. I think in 2013, I remember, oh my gosh, 11 years ago, I was in the middle of just the most confusing season of my life. I was running away from home because I had just graduated college and I had just told my mom a week before my graduation that I wasn't going to be the doctor that she hoped I would be. And so I was preparing for that moment of disappointment where I would let her know that, like, oh, by the way, these last 4 years that you thought I was doing what you wanted, like an obedient child, I actually didn't. And I figured that out like a year and a half into my like biochem degree, that I was like, oh, this is not for me. And I couldn't tell her at the time because I still didn't even know what I would be transitioning to. So it wasn't like, sorry, mom, I can't do biochem because I want to do this. It was like, I can't do biochem and I also don't know what I'm going to do. And so I remember going to the counselor and just trying to explain my dilemma, but also share with her like some of the things I was passionate about. And at the time it was like design, photography, but like journalism, because I had a blog. So there was all of these like small elements of like random passions, but none of it like resulted into a career. And back then there were no jobs in like social media. You couldn't say like, oh, look at my Twitter feed. Like, therefore I can do this for a business and a business should hire me to run their Twitter. Twitter back then was like the main way that companies ran social media or advertised through social media. It was like, if you had a Twitter, like that was like that was the communication channel to the general public. And so in college, I did radio, a semester of radio, like broadcast journalism. I did a semester of newspaper, and then I did a semester of, what was it? TV. Wait, yeah, sorry. I'm confused. But I did TV, radio, and newspaper. So all these different forms of communication. And so I recognized, okay, this falls under mass media. It seems like I have this, I don't know, I can communicate in a way that draws people in. Like I really loved persuasive writing in high school. And so I knew that writing and forms of communication like really resonated with me, or it made me excited. So yeah, mass media became one like wheelhouse. And then I was like, okay, but the marketing aspect, that taps into the design and photography side that I really love. Sorry. So yeah, it became like this interdisciplinary major of like mass media communications, art, and design. So it was, yeah, but at the end of that, I was like, okay, but what job is there? And I always knew that like, okay, yes, I can kind of apply for jobs. I could go the safe route, or I could figure out a way to do something creative. And because I had studied abroad in the UK, I was like, that alone, being in that environment showed me that like, oh, I could lead trips for other students. When I was a study abroad student, I also applied to be a Harlexton ambassador. Harlexton was the name of the school. Harlexton ambassador, Harlexton resident assistant, and a Harlexton blogger. So immediately I put myself in leadership positions within the campus and community, but also to show the professors and the president that like, yeah, like I care, and I put effort and energy towards like, yeah, like whatever is for the greater good of this campus. Like I'm here to help and be of service. So I remember the president coming up to me, and he also knew that like I was kind of a ringleader for trouble. Like I would help people like sneak off to the pub, and I had a mischievous side. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to keep my eye on you. Like I can just tell that I'm going to have to keep my eye on you. But other than that, great job. I see what you're doing. And it was, shout out to Gordon Kingsley. He's a great man. And it was just, that is me in a nutshell. I know how to rally people together, and I also do great stuff. And I think, granted, like we're all early 20s, late teens. So we're all just like, just excited to be abroad and in the UK. And we're, having these like abroad experiences for the first time. Like what is a pub? I've never been to a pub outside of or in the US. So just even pub culture and learning what that was, and getting excited about Thursday nights and heading to the bistro, our local basement pub, and just, there was just so much excitement around doing things that aren't a part of your normal American culture. Anyways, I share all of that because that was my first exposure and opportunity to kind of put myself out there as like a leader. And back then, again, you only had Twitter. Instagram was just barely like in its second or third year. So that still was just a place for me to like dump diary posts. So when I think about the opportunity to become an entrepreneur and what it looked like over a decade ago, it didn't have a path. But if I wanted to become an entrepreneur today, there's at least 5 quality courses, 10 top seller books, like 20 incredible online mentors and leaders, 50, podcasts. Like there's so much access, so many resources, and so much quality content that exists. Now, I think the issue for people is, who do you follow and who do you trust? You can't just say, okay, I'm ready to be an entrepreneur. Like, hello, ChatGPT, tell me what to do. It's like you have to go study someone's journey. Go look at someone's track record. Go listen to someone's podcast. Go read someone's blog. Find the 1 or 2 people that you align with morally and ethically, and then invest in them. Because if you try to hodgepodge your way to the top of entrepreneurship through this person's ebook and this person's course, this person's mastermind, you're going to get all of this information, and you're getting all of these pieces to a puzzle, but they're 3 different puzzles. And not to say there's not common denominators, because there are a lot of parallels in entrepreneurship, but you want to say like, okay, I want to build one puzzle at a time. So let me figure out this one first aspect of entrepreneurship, and I'm going to solve that puzzle through this one person. So I think that's the best way forward for entrepreneurs today. So absolutely, it is a ton easier. And what I would do to just like give what I have now to 10 years ago Glow and show her like, oh my gosh, all of this is possible. But I also appreciate that I started at a time where it was a lot harder, because it means that I was willing to do things not just when they were easy, that I found it fun to kind of creatively problem solve and navigate in a very lonely journey. I didn't have a community that understood what I was doing. And I remember the first time I got a lot of hate from like travel bloggers, because I was here building a course and building a business beyond just the travel influencer like lifestyle. Like I was actually building like a company, and they saw me as like, well, you're scamming people if you're charging for what you know. And I'm like, no, I've been, for 5 years, I've been generously giving everything away and helping as many people as I could. And now I respect myself and my time enough to put a price on it. And I tell my clients all the time that you need to learn to price your presence, or you will burn out very quickly and you'll get taken advantage of. And when I started putting my foot down and I didn't let people walk all over me, I created some enemies in the travel space. And to this day, they probably still think of me as a villain. And I'm okay with that, because sometimes people are only okay with the version of you that is docile and weak and very agreeable and, you know, goes with the flow. But when I started really treating myself as like a business owner, that's when like there was friction and tension, because they couldn't always get what they wanted anymore. And they saw me as like the connect who they can just always, you know, help me with this, help me with that. So yeah, it's been a blessing, just the journey, the growth, the lessons. I'm constantly in awe of just the opportunity. And I can't think of anything else that I would be doing if I wasn't an entrepreneur. There's like no other job that comes close to what I do now. A tour guide? I don't know. Okay, that's a very random side, but like if I just wanted to travel, like get paid to travel, I'd probably just be a tour guide in a country that I really love. And then if I wasn't doing that, then I would probably manage an artist. I would either manage an artist or manage their social media, because I really love the marketing. I really love the building and the creating. And if I don't want to be front facing, which I don't always want to be, I can just, you know, put all of that energy towards someone else's brand. And yeah, in 10 to 15 years, I probably see myself being on the producing side and creating films and telling stories that, yeah, share more of just the intricacies of people's journeys, my own journey, and all that stuff. So it's just really cool to just be on this life experience and be taking it just one step and 1 year at a time. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. If you find this somehow, because it gets pushed to the homepage, welcome, my name is Glow. I've been an entrepreneur for almost 2 decades, and I guess profitably for about 11. For most of my life and career, I was just posting freely on the internet and helping people in any way I could. Slowly but surely, I started creating digital products for people that, yeah, I just saw like an opportunity to build for them. It might start from like one person asking if I could help design a brochure for their company. And then I would design one, and then next thing you know, their colleague or someone they knew referred them to me. And maybe it was like $15 at a time, but I was always open for opportunities to build and create. And I knew that as long as I continued learning and stayed hungry with my creativity, I'd always have work. I would always have a way to serve other people. And because I genuinely enjoy marketing, creative strategy, and social media, there will always be a demand for people like me. And I think where I win is that business coaching isn't just an income stream. It's like a passion, a heartfelt desire, and filling a void in the marketplace where I think because of the multiple lanes that I've straddled over the last 20 years, I could speak to a lot of what comes with owning and building a business, and in a way where it's not, like I failed so much. I've failed a lot, and I've failed fast, and I've failed often. Fail fast, Why does failed sound wrong? I want to say foiled. And hair keeps being stuck to my lips. I've allowed myself to fail, but I never allowed myself to fall. I am always open to the journey of learning through my own mistakes and letting the journey humble you and guide you. And as I feel like I'm ready for my next evolution, and I am like praying to God to show me the city and the community where I need to be led. If you haven't seen that story on Instagram, by the way, definitely go check it out. It is mind-blowing, where God literally uses a pastor to speak into my life, and he tells me in less than 25 days now that my city will be known. And I think when you have an abundance of energy and resources and insight, you want to spread that through multiple communities. And so I think I'll always work with entrepreneurs, but I know that I'm meant to be leading another community, and I just don't know who yet. So I'm excited to see where God points me to, both the city and the community and the environment. And yeah, it's kind of cool. Okay, and then a quick plug, if you visit thelifeleap.com, we'll have the link in the description below. We are accepting applications for our summer cohort. So if you know that you're going to be home during this summer, you might as well use it to build and pour into yourself and start the second half of 2024 just on a note where you are intentionally creating and investing in your future self. And yeah, so applications will be going out. You can get on the wait list. Applications will be going out in the next week. And what else is going on? Yeah, we have our retreats, the Life Leap retreats, launching soon. That'll be in the fall. So you can just travel with us if you want. We are figuring out the destinations. And yeah, I guess that's it. 17 minutes. I think that'll do it. Did I learn anything this week? Many things. What do I feel like sharing? I learned that everything takes effort. Even the areas where you feel like, oh, I've done this long enough, it'll be fine. Every area of your life that you care about needs consistent, ongoing, it's lifelong effort. There is never an area where you should just stop trying. So I hope that any area of your life that has come easy or natural, you are not neglecting it, and you are giving it that same love and attention as you did when you first started. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how to end these anymore. Again, this is the new format. I hope, I don't know, let me know. Or don't. No, you can let me know. I'm open for feedback, but I'm also set on doing it like this. You can share your feedback and I'll take it into consideration. That's a nicer way to put it. But I kind of like this format more because I can kind of, I don't know, go deeper on like, I don't know, more general topics outside of my life, because you don't want to just keep hearing the same random updates every week. And sometimes the updates aren't very different. So I'm like, there needs to be something else. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your week, and I hope you enjoyed your Cinco de Mayo.